It's a slow, methodical plod by torchlight. If you've planned wisely, the stars will be glowing light years above you with great clarity. In my experience, any nervousness will have long dissolved by now, spent the previous evening in the hut, over dinner, and lying awake most of the night, even with the earplugs. The mood is quiet, no words spoken other than to comment on the beauty or on the route ahead. Introspective, calm, peaceful. Not excited, not yet. Maybe slightly harassed if the ground is rough underfoot, usually very cold. Waiting for the sunrise, yet enjoying the dark. Concentration, otherworldliness, and then the increasing glow which heralds the onset of dawn. The energy is palpable, rich, saturated colours reflected on the gradually brightening snow. Now the anticipation, knowing that this is one of the most beautiful, joyous and uplifting experiences, which for me does not happen frequently in this lifetime. An alpine sunrise on a high altitude mountain. So this was our plan, Rimpfischhorn. 2 years ago, we had been admiring this remote and alluring peak. To attain the summit requires stamina and concentration due to the long glacial approach, which is usually complicated by a maze of crevasses. We had decided to acclimatise by first attempting 2 easier peaks, Bishorn and Lagginhorn. Having summited the Matterhorn 2 years previously, these peaks technically should not have posed too much of a problem, but high mountains are fraught with objective danger, and all 3 summits provided unexpected difficulties. So now you know the agenda, let's get to the climbing. Bishorn first.
Zinal or Zinal.
The approach to Bishorn involved a night in the Tracuit Hut, starting from the picturesque resort of Zinal. However, there's no uplift to the hut, and whilst the hike from hut to summit is a very pleasurable snow route graded facile or easy, the descent back to Zinal was a very hot 8,500 feet.
Well, we really are nearly there now. My feet are goosed. These two are goosed. Am I going to have to bleep that out, Patrick? But the views are.
That's going to come really quickly now.
The views are splendid.
The easiest peak isn't necessarily the least enjoyable. On reflection, the Bishorn was probably the best of our 3 chosen peaks. The summit approach was comparatively relaxed and the scenery stupendous.
And there's the hut. About another half hour, you reckon?
Yep.
There's Patrick.
Holy shit.
There's the hut. It's Dave. Patrick.
Hello.
AM, and I'm fairly certain I have a face like a crumpled mattress.
Patrick's resorted to eating beetroot and peeing in a bottle.
Well, here's 5 foot light, sorting a rucksack out.
You're too spread apart. There you are. Félicitations.
Félicitations. Just panning round. There's the Bishorn. Quite a fantastic summit. Beautiful inversion out there, Patrick. So
It was 39 degrees back in the valley. The extreme heat had exacerbated a foot problem I'd had for some months, and I was hobbling and almost tearful. Both feet and knees were burning by the time we got back to the car. We found a drinking trough, and when everyone had finished using it, I climbed in and sat in the cold water. Our original plan for the next peak was Lagginhorn, which stands adjacent to, but no less imposing, than the Bishorn, but the approach and descent would again be a long one. So we chose Lagginhorn as a test for my sore feet. This we would approach from the Tracuit Hut, where we had stayed a couple of years earlier when climbing the nearby Weissmus with Patrick.
off we go. From there, this goes across up onto this ridge. I'm going to go over the other side, and the ridge we're going to ascend is just on the skyline. So just heading across, just for a little bit of a recce of the route. There's Lagginhorn, Weissmus behind in the cloud. Just trying to suss out the route really of where we get started tomorrow morning, because it will be probably dark when we're coming across here. Maybe just getting light. As you can see, the odd little route where people have gone wrong. It's quite loose, friable sort of stuff. We have to be fairly careful coming down, especially if there's any parties above us who might not rock on us. Anyway, I'm going to get going, get back down, get some tea. Big as your head.
It's a pint and a half. This is the Tracuit Hut, which we had previously visited.
Someone's awake. .3:50 AM. Sun's just coming up. That's Dave's head torch. Those peaks over there. There's a light shining. Look on the shoulder.
Yeah, it's lens spits. And then next to it's an Alpine. The Dom's a big one. That's what she said.
we're going. You can't see in this light.
I see those head
Somewhere.
torches up there.
Oh yeah.
Up in front of us, we're going up this ridge.
And there's the moon.
6:02 and it's sunrise. Sue just ahead of me, hear me panting. Probably up around 3,500 metres right now. Just come across all of that. We see back to the cable car station. Weissmus, just the sun just hitting it, and we're headed up there. There's the summit. Just make out the cross. Hopefully we're going to get on the ridge soon, but it's been pretty tough going across a glacial scree chute, rocky, dusty, gritty path. It's a bit more solid now, and hopefully get better.
Say path.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I was just going to switch off there. I maybe won't. Look, I'm just going to stand here. Wow, that's some range of mountains. Sun just rising, panting at the altitude, just a bit breathless. Another group just coming up on the ridge from the Weissmus Hut. A bit higher up now, still not in the sun, but ridge is starting to get a bit more defined. Looking back down, a beautiful morning. What time is it now? 6:17, so just a bit further on. There's the summit, and across the Weissmus. Just ridge getting a little narrow, but we just see the glacier there to the, I think it's the Rimpfischhorn. Not too far now.
Summit panorama.
We just see that there, big plume of dust going all the way down. Big avalanche just come down, it's heard the rocks, just the dust there now. Woo! Sound of exploding rocks to our left. They keep coming down the face. Moment we're on safe ground, but it makes you nervous all the same.
Neither of us said it, but we both knew that those rocks were falling right over the dry glacier below, which we had to recross before returning to the Hosas hut. The ridge is loose in parts, and we had already sidestepped a few rocks dislodged from above.
We've just come across that zone you can see there, and my, are we glad to get across that. If the video comes out from where I took it before, that was where the rocks were showering down and landing in the bottom of there where we had to cross. So we're both pretty quiet, neither of us saying very much coming across there, but we both knew what the objective danger was, and thank goodness we're across there in one piece. There's 5 foot light. There's Rimpfischhorn. We may do that one next, in between Lagginhorn, which we've done, and Rimpfischhorn sits there.
Rimpfischhorn is less easily accessible than most of the other Swiss 4,000 metre peaks. There are 3 possible routes, all of which are long and involve rough glacier crossings. All 3 routes, according to guidebooks, can take anywhere from about 5 to 6.5 hours from hut to summit, which of course is only halfway.
Just come, find your balance and touch your big toes together to find a point of concentration. Yes, your hand, absolutely perfect. Oh, amazing.
Ha! Call that yoga? When you can get your knees where I can, then I'll be impressed.
Okay, try to find a place and after to come in balance. Oh, yeah, because I see your body, you are enough strong to do it. I show you.
Go, go.
Concentration.
Yeah.
Stand up your feet. Yeah, good time. It's not easy the first time. Okay.
Bishorn, just catching the sun. A couple of groups ahead of us. Doesn't look like it's too bad so far for crevasses. Hoping that any that are there will be still frozen.
The climb was more eventful than we would have wished. The party ahead of us, upon entering the couloir above the glacier, climbed too far to the left of the ridge and dislodged several rocks. Most we avoided, but I was hit in the face after having looked up too soon when I thought the onslaught had subsided. One should always be very careful not to dislodge rocks, but if it does happen, it's important to shout a warning to those below. Below!
After an eventful trip up here, now on the summit of Rimpfischhorn. Unfortunately, the party ahead of us dislodged some stones, and so lucky just to take a small one into the lip, which is a bit grooved and a bit bashed, and we're going to have a little patch up to do there, but I don't know, most people would have gone down, but I don't know. Incredible, really. Keep going after that. Now we've got to find a better route down and more solid rock, which we're going to do. We take our time. Wow. Just have a look.
As well as shouting a warning when rocks are dislodged, it's also good etiquette to allow climbers who are moving faster to pass. Being confident enough to simply down climb the ridge, we were held up by the same party, who made several abseils, forcing us to wait behind each time. During the time waiting to climb down, the sun of course was softening the snow on the glacier, rendering the crossing of crevasses much more tiresome than they had been on the way up when the snow bridges were frozen.
Whoa, pretty deep, isn't it? Get over there soon. and keep going and get down both on very tired legs. And still the path goes on. It's starting to feel like we're never going to get back to the hut. Used to be on Mammoth Peak, Mammoth Day Out. Scorching Sunday evening, halfway down the Tracuit Hut. Right now, all I'm thinking about is finding a car and a cold beer and a straw for life.
Absolutely.
The end of a very long and very successful day. The usual array of climbing equipment laid out to dry.
I got my beer and my straw, and my face healed up remarkably quickly thanks to the extraordinary and very tender care I received from both our hosts at the apartment, Christina and Belinda, and from one of the guests at the Tracuit Hut, whose name was Medina. And yet there are still 2 peaks which we would very much like to climb, Lagginhorn and Bishorn. The latter is even more committing than either Rimpfischhorn or the Matterhorn. Maybe next time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks to all for watching, and see you all soon back in Blighty.